What's everyone saying? It's your boy Simon Exposed back again. I'm international, I've been using the passport, but this time I've gone across the ocean. You find me here in Montreal, in Quebec, here in Canada. And in today's video, I'm outside Square Victoria OACI Metro Station. This is gonna be a road video. I want to show my first, experiences, my first thoughts of North American transit. I'm gonna be cutting about the city on the metro, on the bus, on the REM over the next couple of days, and I don't know, this is just gonna be like a voiceover or something when I get back home. Let's get into the metro and yeah, get a ticket, go some places and check out the transport system here. Montreal is Canada's second largest city and the capital of Quebec, and it's home to one of North America's busiest and largest heavy rail metro systems, having opened in 1968 under the leadership of Mayor Jean Drapeau. The system is operated by the STM, the Société de Transport de Montréal, and features 68 stations across 4 lines, the 1, the 2, the 4 and the 5, distinguished by their colours, green, orange, yellow and blue respectively. The missing 3 relates to a line that was planned but never built, so I've been told. Note, in Montreal, the locals refer to the lines by their colours and not their numbers. At many stations, the metro is accessed through these bad boy entrances, which feature these heavy doors, which are specifically designed to keep the heat in when the city goes through its rough winter season, with temperatures that reach quite a bit below freezing on a good day. The system uses the Opus card, which you can buy at any metro station and top up with single, day, consecutive day or longer period tickets. There's no contactless tap and go out here, you gotta get yourself an Opus card, which has a $6 Canadian deposit, which is around £3.20, or you can get an occasional paper ticket, which is good for the old 222. The ticketing system features zones, A being the island of Montreal, where the normal tourists stay, B being the immediate suburbs like Laval and Longueuil, and C being the deepest, darkest suburbs of Saffrey, Strodes, and endless Tim Hortons. Whilst I was in the land of the Habs, I was buying 3-day consecutive tickets for Zone A with my main Opus card, more on that later, which currently costs $21.75, which is around 12 quid, whilst a one-way trip is $3.75, around 2 quid, and that's on the metro, the bus, whatever in Zone A, and I believe on the bus wherever you are, to be fair. As a brainwashed Londoner who pays over £10 a day to go to and from work, I am aghast at the low fares relative to London. Yes, I know, Montrealers will have seen these fares increase like crazy over time. But to me, I am feasting expeditiously at these prices. The metro is like the Paris Metro's little Canadian cousin. Its characteristics are very akin to those found in Paris. The engineers planning the system were based in Paris. The newest trains are built by the French company Alstom. The trains have rubber wheels like many of those in Paris. And the whole system just radiates French energy. I will say there are a number of things that I like about the metro. It's fast, it's frequent, for the most part, and the way the lines interlink with each other at certain stations like Berry-UQAM, Snowdon or Lionel-Groulx is just ingenious. Some of the stations on the system are absolutely majestic and are a wonder architecturally. Of course, we're in North America and they love their cars out here. There's gotta be places to park them. No worries, there's park and rides all over. On my jaunt to Montreal, I spent quite a bit of time across the river in Châteauguay. All I needed to do was pop down to the end of the green line to Angrignon, slide myself out to the car park and enjoy my ride across the river like the proper passenger princess I am. If you can't get in a car, the station is a bus hub for the whole of the suburbs, with services being run by the STM and by EXO. I'll touch on EXO later on in the video as well. The metro is also well connected with the réseau, the underground city, where a lot of Montrealers, is that even the right word, Montrealers, hide out during the rough winters. Many residential properties, offices, restaurants, banks, and metro stations have entrances that link directly into the réseau, and it's like a maze when you're down there for the first time. But there's no need to worry, because there's signs everywhere. The réseau is super extensive, and it's like a proper cheat code for getting around the city. Just don't try and use Google Maps down there, because, yeah, it don't work. I do have some bones to pick with the metro, you know. It doesn't reach a lot of the city just yet, and it isn't the most ideal transport for crossing the city without heading downtown. Yes, the blue line exists and is extending soon, but one line that doesn't touch downtown that goes around, that's not good enough, you know. Also, I would say these Metrovision screens are an absolute joke. They're supposed to be advertising and news screens that double up as next train departure screens. Why are the train times hidden right there in the top right hand corner? Shouldn't the next train times be the most important thing to display? Imagine you're launching it down the stairs in McGill station and you miss a train by 1.7 seconds. And you're searching to see when the next one is so you can send a message to your Canadian bibs in Laval. You can't find it, you can't see it. You realize you broke your glasses when you fell and now your eyes are not functioning. Look, across the platform, above the platform, in small writing, 27 minutes. Imagine that would be painful. When visiting Montreal, you'll find that all the announcements and signs are in French. No English, well, maybe a tiny bit of English in terms of emergency signs or on a map or something. Quebec is big on its French preservation. They actually got me hooked. Tell me why I now have a Quebec flag in my bedroom and listen to Quebecois rap now. What? Whilst in Montreal, I felt it was customary to try out the bus. My first bus ride was on a cheeky side mission from a lunch at Saint-Viateur Bagels out to Montreal to catch the view across the city from the hill. The STM operates around 200 daytime buses and around 20 night buses. These buses cut about the city every day, with them being very useful for hitting parts of the city not accessible by metro. I used them more than I expected on my visit to Montreal. EXO, the suburban bus operator, operates around 200 or so buses as well, along with their rail service, which I'll touch on later. These mainly serve the park and ride interchanges, head out into the suburbs, all from stations like Angrignon. There's also the RTL, and they run services around Longueuil. As a Londoner, I find North American bus stops so odd. It's like they're an afterthought when running buses here. I'm used to my TfL roundel pole with the routes and the timetables there, the live countdown screen all bright and shiny, with a nice cozy shelter on the side as well. Here, nada. Just a sign with a route number attached to like the traffic light or something. Getting on the bus is simple. Stick your hand out, doors open, tap your Opus card and you're on. You can pay by cash on board, but you need exact change. All buses in Montreal are single decker and are 99.9% Nova Bus LFSs, which are interestingly designed to say the least. They are very popular across the pond, and I'm always confused about the smaller back doors they have. Do wheelchair users board from the back? Because these doors are small, they're tiny. First thing I note on board is the very short distance between bus stops. Why is there a stop on every block? I can say it did come into good use. I thought I missed the bus I was trying to get one time. I was running. It was like 20 minutes for the next one. I saw it past the stop and I gave up running. I was like, nah, that's long. Not till I saw it literally across the road with a whole bunch of folk waiting. I thought it was sprint time. I made it comfortably. But overall, I don't think that's a good thing, you know. Lengthening the distance between the bus stops would help increase reliability and speed up journeys, as you wouldn't have to stop as much and deal with all the red lights at intersections. When I visited Washington DC later on, the WMATA was going through a scheme to remove and consolidate stops renumber routes, and make the system more efficient. I think Montreal needs a bit of that. Furthermore, I would like to point out that Montreal really lacks on bus priority measures along some of its busiest roads. A bus will be stuck in traffic and won't be able to get around because all 3 lanes are just full of cars. It just results in a lot of waiting in traffic, longer journeys, and just growing frustration. I don't think I've properly witnessed a fully functional bus lane out in Montreal. So many journeys were just stuck behind slow cars and parked trucks. Of course, the North American cities, they love their grid patterns. Most buses run up and down a single road, and their destination blinds often just name a street they go down. Very, very useful. For example, the 55 goes down Saint Laurent, and the 80 goes down Park. Easy. I did frequent the many nighttime venues of Montreal, and I found the night bus network to be decent. Yeah, night buses run 7 days a week. On Friday and Saturday, the STM ramp up the frequencies. I'm loving it. Let's just say after a glorious cultural exchange along Saint-Catherine, I took the night bus. I experienced the phenomenon of the night bus. It was calling out my name, and I was impressed. Hovering all the way back to Central Station, let's have a look at the city's newest transport mode, the REM, the Réseau Express Métropolitain. This is the city's new fully automatic light metro system, which began operation back in July 2023, and it starts here. Currently, it's formed of one line between Gare Centrale and Brossard, with intermediate stops at Île-des-Sèvres, Panama, and Du Quartier, and is to expand to have 21 more stations and have 3 branches out to the west of the city. I seem to be traveling at the start of the evening rush, so let's see how the system fares up. The REM is not operated by the STM, but it is integrated with it, EXO and RTL, through the ARTM, the organization that is the Transport Authority, which organizes the whole system around the Greater Montreal region. A partnership of Atkins Realis and French company Alstom, who built the trains, operate the service. The system is very nice in first impressions. Leaving Gare Centrale, we head on a whole wiggle around parts of industrial Montreal, including doing a whole circuit around the Costco for some reason, before arriving at Île-des-Sèvres and before heading on the new Champlain Bridge across the St. Lawrence River, or the Saint Laurent, as the Quebecois call it. Seeing us in the highway medium fills me with happiness, speeding past all the Jean-Claudes and the Christophs in their gas guzzlers on their way home. The REM has a maximum speed of 62 miles per hour or 100 kilometers an hour, and runs with 2 car sets, which double to 4 cars during peak hours. That's a maximum of 780 passengers per train. A lot of people, taking up much less space than those cars on the bridge. Just imagine how many people this has taken out of their cars heading in and out of downtown, and imagine how many more people will jump on the REM once its expansion's open. The stations on the REM here are mainly in highway medians, and I would say the sound of the cars rushing down the highway doesn't seem to be eroding my earlobes at this present time. Thank you very much, platform screen doors. Brossard is the terminus of the REM to the south with 3 platforms. To the south of the station there's a large regional bus terminus, and to the north there's a very big park and ride. Let's check it out. Folks, I'm here at Brossard at the end of the REM. Yeah, this is like the biggest park and ride I've seen in my life. Yeah, this is massive. I guess with the REM, it's nice because it basically saves a lot of people a lot of time, gets a lot of the cars off the road, passes all the cars at speed. Right now it is 4:45 in the evening, so this is like the start of the rush hour, and there was a lot of people on that train. On top of the big park and ride on the other side, there are buses out to the far ends of Zone B and Zone C out in the suburbs of Montreal. I visited a bit too early for the expansions out to Deux-Montagnes and Anse-à-Lorme via McGill and Ville de Montréal. They open in October 2025. Don't forget, 2027, there's also the extension out to the airport. I am very early for that. These new extensions will be using old EXO lines which have been converted for the REM. There's provision also for a new station on the existing line in Griffintown, which won't be opening anytime soon, to be fair. I'm loving the REM, although it seems to have a lot of suspensions for engineering works and stuff. But they always put like extra bus routes in place. I guess that helps in a way. But remember, buses can't carry 780 people in one go. I've mentioned EXO a lot in this video, so I think it's time to try it out. I've only had one return encounter with EXO, and it is to visit the city's railway museum. So in this case, we needed to head to Lucien Lallier to grab us an EXO commuter train out. First of all, let me say, the connection between Lucien Lallier metro station and the EXO station is a mess. I'm huffing and puffing to make sure I'm not missing this train. I am cooked in severe ways that have not been experienced if I miss this train. Also, sorry to the homeless folk that are startled when slamming that door. Oops. This is what the interior of the station looks like when you're not rushing. Double-decker time. As we leave Lucien Lallier, let's talk EXO. EXO was formed in 2017, combining the commuter rail services operated by the AMT and all the small suburban bus services into one company. EXO Rail has 5 lines, the 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15, which are all referred to by their end destinations. For example, I'm riding on the Conjac line today. There used to be the 6th, the Deux-Montagnes line, which has been shut down as the line is being converted to be part of REM. EXO primarily serves commuters, with all lines radiating from the downtown core into the suburbs, with Condillac, Vaudreuil-Hudson and Saint-Jérôme heading into Lucien Lallier, which is a very bare-bones station in my opinion. A couple of years ago, the platforms weren't even covered. Mont-Saint-Hilaire and Mascouche, well, not for much longer, head into Gare Centrale. This train I'm heading on is taking me to Saint-Constant, the closest station to the city's railway museum, Exporail. Bear in mind, I'm actually heading contrary to the regular flow of people at 9 o'clock in the morning. The Conjac line has 9 services each way, Monday to Friday, no service on the weekends. Trains towards downtown from Conjac run in the morning at 5:55, 6:37, 6:57, 7:28, 8 o'clock, 8:25, 8:50 and 10:30, with one train in the afternoon at 13:20. In the opposite direction, one train from downtown runs to Condillac in the morning at 9:35, the train I'm on right now. After that, the afternoon trains run at 12:20, 15:35, 15:55, 16:15, 16:45, 17:15 and 18:20. You missed that last one? Hey, it's a long bus ride for you. These frequencies are weak. 9 services a day? 9 services a day? And that's not even the worst? Oh, these weak frequencies are partly due to the demand. Who other than weird people like me, or people that like trains like me, are gonna be taking the commuter train the wrong direction? Barely anyone. Also, you gotta remember that these railway lines are owned by a number of freight companies, so you always gotta plan services in between the multiple freight movements. Either way, still 9 trains a day? 1 train in the morning? Yo, 3 hours to wait. If I missed that train, I had to speed run breakfast because I was like, yo, if I was taking the train, nice and easy, 6 stops as we're doing, 30 minutes down to Saint Constant. If I did it by the bus and the ram, it was at least 2 hours. A lot of the EXO stations only have the bare necessities, to be fair. Some timetables, ticketing facilities, the platform, hopefully, and some shelter and some benches. People aren't really going to spend much time at the station, to be fair. These stations are basically park and rides. You drive your car, you park it here for free, you pay for your train ticket, and you head into town. That's all you need, really. Before we head back to MTL, there are some general things I want to point out too, you know. The Opus card is a mess. Yeah, why do I have 2 different Opus cards? One for Zone A and one for Zones A, B, C. At the regular ticket machines, you get regular Zone A cards. Good for tourists and for most residents on the island. But if you want to add a B, C, AB, or ACB, ABC, I can't even do my ABCs right now, oof, onto your Opus, you need to get a designated card. Which means you have to go to like a select travel information point, fill in some paper forms, show some ID, all this stuff, and then you get a separate card. Brother, what? I had to use a different card for half my trips, which, yeah, was a bit of a hassle because you're like topping up different ones with different tickets and you don't want to tap the wrong one at the barrier and stuff. Apparently it's because the system wouldn't be able to calculate how far your journey is, because on the trains, for example, you don't tap out, you just walk through the barriers. Also, annoyingly, the EXO website is blocked outside of Canada. Or maybe just in the UK from what I see. I had to activate my VPN to plan out my journey to the train museum, you know? Like I say, yeah, why would non-commuters be using EXO anyway? Come on, am I crazy? You'll find that if you travel with the bus in the city, you'll be doing a lot of walking at each end of your bus journey. Knowing the urban layout of the city and the way the bus system is, I barely had itineraries that were like, walk 2 minutes, 1 bus, change bus, 2nd bus, get off bus, walk 5 minutes. It'd always be like, walk 15 minutes, take bus, get off bus, walk 15 minutes. Be prepared to walk, you know. I was very impressed at the cleanliness of the transport network here, especially the metro, which was near spotless most of the time I used it. Yeah, there'd be the odd homeless person here and there, but nowhere to the scale of like New York or Philadelphia, eh? Overall, I've been impressed with the transport network here for North American standards, especially the metro. Montreal isn't perfect, of course, but it's better than a lot of cities you see here in North America, even though I've been to only a couple, but also Google exists. Well, as I wait here for the last train into Montreal with my Tim Hortons sized coffee, I can say it's been nice to try out the REM, the Metro, the bus and the EXO. It's basically my first experience of North American transit. If you did like the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. The train is soon on its way. I'm gonna head into town and drink some questionable beverages. I'll catch you in the next one. It's been your boy Someone Explores. See you in somewhere in the next video. See you in a bit.